Wow. This is Winging It, the somewhat whimsical, certainly whirring, decidedly wonky, seldom weighty, endlessly well-intentioned, and wildly witty show about music where one knows what's coming and the other has no idea. So, it happens in between both proper to ensure you can spend anywhere from 15 to about 90 minutes with us every week, or as often as we can make it happen. It's been tough with the fucking holidays, but we're moving forward. So, any guesses as to what we could be talking about today?
Let's see. On this first show of the last recording night of the year, 2023, yes. So this is probably what you'll be hearing first. So Happy New Year to the flock.
Happy New Year.
And to our recent new viewers, as I like to think of them.
Nice.
And yeah, well-intentioned indeed, as she said. We intended to do a Birds of a Feather tonight. But, hey, you know what? Content is content, and we hope you celebrate that, you know.
We're going to be back to having new artists introduced to you shortly, but right now you're going to get new content.
As usual, I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, so no clues, no idea.
No.
All right, well, this amazing little tidbit comes to us from freeyourmusic.com. Thank you very much, Free Your Music. We appreciate it. So, if you're a music fan, you probably had this conversation before. What are the greatest songs of all time, right? And we talk about that a lot, but it's a question that has been debated for decades, and there are many answers, as there are many people who love music. But now, a computer scientist from Goldsmiths University has tried to answer it once and for all.
Oh, boy.
So according to Dr. Grierson, again, Goldsmiths University, he looked at the songs that appeared on the all-time top list compiled by well-known music publications, including Rolling Stone, VH1, NME, and Q Magazine, and with the help of analytical software, he examined the parameters of these songs, including the beats per minute, lyrical content, chord variety, and many more. And when the results came back, you may or may not be surprised to know what was number one. But we're going to kind of go through some of these, not all of them.
And this is, considering the music that AI is used to create these days, I can just imagine them running the numbers, as it were, on what are no doubt the greatest songs ever, and thinking, oh, they come up wanting, they're lacking, because I can't wait to hear this. I mean, compared to telling us what the best songs are, despite what we know in our hearts, like if a certain song isn't number one, then I know it's fake. Then it's, that actually makes the rest of Skynet AI's plan to wipe out humanity seem kind of merciful.
Well, I don't know if it's AI, but it's analytical software. So this is before, I think, a little pre-AI. But let's hear what the iconic songs all have in common before we get into them. So they use sound in varied and dynamic ways, which makes the recording exciting. Around 80% of them are in a major key. Major keys are known to be very happy sounding, right? So uplifting. Of course, Ascent uses a lot of minor keys. But anyway, the average tempo is 125 beats per minute. They have low chord changes. Certain words appear, such as baby, feel, and love.
Oh, yeah, well. Yeah.
High spectral flux, which is how the power of a note from one to the next varies. And then high timbral dissonance, which is instruments that sound different. For example, flute over electric guitar. So, this is all of this science now that has come up with this list. So we're not going to go through the entire list, but we're going to kind of pick and choose. But let's go through the top 10 and see what happens. So we're going to start with number 10. And I just want to hear visceral response. This is the top, again, what, science says is the top 10 most iconic songs of all time.
And as I was listening to the parameters, I thought, you know what? That is kind of cool. So let's hear it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, number 10, Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh, well, it was a mistake. Obviously, they meant to say Paradise City, but those are both, they're the same kind. I mean, they are iconic.
Is it weird to think of the fact that Guns N' Roses came out in 1987? That seems really crazy to me. It's a long time ago. Not Guns N' Roses, but this particular song, Sweet Child of Mine. But apparently, if you think about it, it's got probably love in it, right? Songs about feeling. I mean, the song is about feeling, blah, 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 all that. So it meets that. It's in a major key, I believe. Yeah, I think it sounds that way. So interesting. So the recording is exciting. I don't know if Axl Rose's voice is the thing that's exciting, but all right, it makes number 10. Agree or disagree? It should be in the top 10. I disagree.
I don't know about top 10, but it succeeds on a lot of levels, especially the ones it is positive. It's a love song. There's no like sinister undertones or anything. It's a lay my heart bare. I would do anything to help you and save you.
That's right.
It is actually very touching. I think they've got better songs, but I mean, let's face it, 1987 knockout debut album. Everybody's minds were blown.
Appetite for Destruction.
But I mean, and when the first time I heard Welcome to the Jungle, I said, holy shit, this band is just going to be incredible. Even if it didn't last forever, that album is legendary. This song, no, it's some of its neighbors on the record, but not maybe this one on the list. But it's a great one, though. I'm not quibbling with that.
Most iconic, though?
No.
I'm going to say no.
No.
I'm going to say a great song, absolutely. That opening riff, absolutely. But it should not be in the top 10 of the most 50 most iconic songs.
But I think it, honestly, with the general public, I think it's the number one. It's the one that's known the most. And that has to count for something.
But most iconic. Let's think about that. Most iconic.
But is being generally being extremely popular and famous, is that a part of icon? I know they didn't say that.
That's not a parameter.
When we think about that.
No, well, we think about it. That's different. But this is a computer that's looking at raw data. Does it check this box? Does it check this box?
So this is a meritocracy then.
Well,
it's a merit thing. Okay, in that case, probably agree with you.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah. So number 9, I vehemently disagree with. It's "God Save the Queen" by Sex Pistols. Is it one of the most iconic songs of all time in the top 10?
Well, they're right about the low chord numbers and everything. And I love the Sex Pistols. I love almost everything they did more than that song. And yes, the song's been covered and everything, and everybody digs it. But I'm
all right. But
if you're talking about controversy, it made a splash. Does it belong within 100 miles of the list based on that criteria? No, of course not. And I love the Sex Pistols. No, it doesn't.
No, it does not belong. So
Guns N' Roses is a lot closer.
I'm thinking that the computer might be a little off, but let's keep going. This little analytical system may not be working. I think we're going to disagree on the next one, but we shall see. Number 8 is "I Can't Get No Satisfaction" by the Rolling Stones. Most iconic. Again, icon is a very high standard, but now if I'm looking at what the song has, there's no baby lover feel. I mean, I don't know.
It is remarkably cynical. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's true.
I mean, it is atypical of the music of that time. Like I said, it is in contrast to, of course, like the Beatles and the kind of thing they were doing. But on this one, I would have to go with its iconic status, based on all of that, is deserved. And
Number
I'm imagining.
8?
Well, I don't know about that, but somewhere way up there. Yeah, probably. Yeah, up in the top 10. Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
But just remember, there ain't no good guys. There ain't no bad guys.
I'm sorry.
There's only you and me.
There is no way. There is no fucking way that song should be in one of the top 10 most iconic songs of all time. Maybe of 1963, or 1965, I guess. Maybe 1965, but there's no fucking way. So I disagree.
There were one of the criteria they mentioned was using unusual combinations of instruments and things of that sort. I think the Stones did that a lot in the old days. There was like something where you don't know what it is you're hearing. Is that strange sound of guitar? Is it a keyboard? And they would just stick things on top of each other and do all acoustic songs. This song has so much going for it, I think, is as deceptively simple as it appears, including the one of the early uses of that kind of fuzz in a main riff. But I think it really has it all going for it, and I think it belongs there. Yeah.
No fucking way. I think so far the computer is getting it all fucking wrong. That's really what I think so far. And just because you love the Rolling Stones doesn't mean they deserve to be here.
No, I think the song does, though.
Wow. Yeah, completely fucking disagree. Well, what about, and I think I know what you're going to say to this one. Number 7 is "Like a Rolling Stone," Bob Dylan.
I actually...
Most iconic.
Well, yeah.
Pretty fucking iconic.
It is iconic, and everybody knows it, and that Al Cooper on that keyboard, I mean, it worms its way into you and everything.
Yeah, there's no worming that Bob Dylan can do with that voice, but his songwriting is amazing.
His songwriting is amazing. This one is honestly just too, I don't know, this is kind of too vindictive, It's kind of ugly a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of that in songs, but it doesn't bother me quite as much as this one. But as a song, I suppose it is. It is super hooky and, relatively minimalist, but has a big impact. So as terms of favorites, no, but iconic, maybe so. It's arguable. What do you think?
Not top 10. I'm sorry.
No.
I definitely, so far I disagree with all of these. So, I happen to kind of somewhat agree with number 6, and it's Hey Jude.
Oh, well.
The Beatles.
Yeah.
It is iconic. It's not like a super feel-good, happy song. I mean, it's positive, but it's not like, Walking on Sunshine or some shit, right?
But it's really supportive, at least.
It is.
Yeah.
So, and it must check all of these boxes, which is interesting. I mean, beats per minute, lyrical content, chord variety. Yeah, I can see all that. I mean, that's fine. So I somewhat agree with this. I think it's iconic. Does it meet the criteria? I mean, I don't know. Number 5, I definitely agree with, and that's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay. Yeah,
so Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody belongs in the top 10. Hey Jude, possibly the top 10. I mean, based on the criteria that we're looking at for the computer. But again, I think the computer or the analytical software program is kind of getting it wrong.
With these last two both, I still would have to agree. With Bohemian Rhapsody, absolutely no question. No matter what boxes you have to tick, it does them all many times over. Hey Jude, I think, actually belongs to, they were doing a lot of unusual stuff in the recording that people
can't. Hey Jude was not
that people can't hear until you tell them about, we used a hairspray,
But I don't think Hey Jude falls into that category. I think some of their other songs do, but I don't know if Hey Jude is the most experimental. But I mean, I'm just thinking, if I'm looking at, and this is what I'm thinking, iconic means so many different things. So iconic based on this criteria versus iconic the way that we think of it. I just think, maybe checking boxes, but I don't consider a lot of these iconic. Now, Bohemian Rhapsody was iconic, groundbreaking, kind of something that had never been done before. So I do agree with that. So interesting. Well, number 4 is Billie Jean, Michael Jackson.
Wow. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot less to quarrel about as we get close to the top, because these are way picking up. They weren't bad to start with, but these are hella choices.
Yeah, they were bad to start with. But Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. So, I mean, for me, it's not a super positive song. So if you're looking, it's not that way. I mean, lyrical content, but it's hooky as fuck. I mean, it's got, great, the great groove. It's got all the things that it needs in that way. So I can understand how it's ticking all the boxes for both people, not just as a dance song, but just a fucking song to groove to. And then that this, analytical software is also saying, it's checking all the boxes. So,
I mean, it isn't like, it's certainly not a love song. It's like, man, that kid is not mine, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a love song. Billie Jean is not my lover. The fact that the word lover is in there doesn't count.
No.
But it is. It's kind of cool that it isn't, because some of the best songs are not, don't at least fit in that lovey-dovey, criteria. And this one's Stone Cold classic that nobody can deny. It's like he's a jolly good fellow.
He probably was quite the jolly good fellow. So number 3, I don't know how you're going to feel about this. This is going to be very interesting to see.
I'm as calm as toast. Cool as a cucumber.
I don't know if it's a top 10, but I think it's maybe a top 15, maybe top 20. One by U2.
I totally thumbs down on this one.
I think you need to think about it. It's positive. It's got a lot of positivity. It's really powerful.
No, you're not thinking of One.
It's uniting. Yeah, I am.
One is the one, I wish I was dead, but I can't die. That's the guy with no legs and no arms. That's One.
This is U2.
Oh! I'm sorry. For some reason, I was momentarily distracted. I thought you were talking about Metallica's One. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Sorry.
I was like, what? I'm like, this is like One Love.
Boy, if you blink, I'm telling you, that's the kind of thing that happens.
If you don't care for it.
You sure there's no arms, people with no arms and legs in there?
Yeah. No. Okay. I said One by U2, and you went the other way.
I don't know why One, because Metallica's
One is. But I said U2.
I thought you were saying, okay, now we want to hear from U2. I don't know.
Oh, my fucking God.
Okay, that's not true. Blink and you miss it. This is live radio, except we're not live, and I ain't about to edit that shit out,
Anyway, I think it deserves to be there for a lot of reasons. I think it's an amazing song. I don't know that it's the top 10. Mm-hmm. Again, I think maybe top 20 for iconic songs. But it depends on how you think of it. It was very different song for U2, but some people may say that's wrong. It's Achtung Baby that are the iconic, but maybe other people, me too, might also say
you
that
too?
It's yes, might also say that it's Joshua Tree stuff. So it's hard. But again, this is apparently analytical software. It's checking a ton of boxes because it's in the top 5.
You're going to sit there possibly agape when I say this, but U2's one is the one that I'm really not familiar with.
Oh my fucking God.
I know. The shock. I expected it. I didn't know if I...
Oh my God.
I almost didn't have the heart to say it.
Okay, we're going to have to whoosh away. We'll be back. Well, he knew the song.
Yeah, I knew the song. It's just one of those, boring title songs that you forget. But yeah, I knew the song, and honestly, go ahead. I'll tell you what I think in a minute, or am I supposed to do that now?
No, the boring title song is one. It's kind of a song about uniting and like kind of being together, but that's boring. You're right.
No, it's boring title. I mean, there are at least 3 songs called One that come to mind. Three Dog Night. There's Metallica. By the way, did you know? I found this out when the song was playing, that if you say U2 really fast, it comes out sounding just like Metallica, which is what you did before. That's why I thought you said Metallica. Okay.
I don't know.
Try it at home, folks.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, but I did.
That's been debunked already.
I knew the song, and it's a great melody. And for some reason, when it starts out, it's relatively, it's kind of tame. And I'm picturing it played with a piano as being like a torch song in a lounge or something like that. It's really quite nice. But then, of course, it would have to be short, or the drunks in the lounge would be asleep. But it picks up, it builds up to a nice tempo, and yeah, it is actually, despite its little dalliances in the dark, it is a very positive and affirming song. It's based on the popularity you've told me, I suppose it deserves to be iconic. I don't quite get it. I did like it, though. I mean, it's not like it doesn't set my hair on fire or anything, but it's big, and it's anthemic as all hell. So, yeah.
I mean, again, I think maybe top 20. I don't know if it's number 3 for me.
And this is from the biggest U2 fan in the world, too.
But I think it's, I mean, I can be fucking objective. I'm objective.
I'll have to try that sometime.
I mean, I Can't Get No Satisfaction should not be in the top 10.
I was being objective when I said that.
Yeah, you were not.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Biggest Stones fan ever. Yeah, objective, not. But I think top 20, definitely. Number 2 is Imagine, John Lennon.
Get the fuck out. I'm sorry.
So Imagine, John Lennon. So I do think, if I'm thinking of it not using analytical software, it is certainly iconic. 100,000% iconic. Big moment. You can see them in the bed in and all that stuff. Like, it's just all there. You can see the video with all the white and, all that kind of stuff. And it's definitely a song that's been covered a million times. It's, an anthem for a million different things. So I think it deserves to be there. And maybe even in that position, I definitely agree with that. So, and I'm not the hugest Lennon fan. I'm more of a McCartney fan.
Yeah, I'm more of a Beatles fan, Beatles era Lennon fan than solo. Absolutely.
But this checks all the boxes.
It's iconic. It's not something I actually like much, but if that's not the criteria, if it's based on all that, it probably is. Yeah.
You don't like the song Imagine?
Not a hell of a lot. No. It's okay.
Because
it's a few things. One, some of the lyrics are dopey, and it kind of wears out its welcome. Music, it's a good tune, but
Come Together has dopey lyrics.
Well, yeah, but
literally
they're
dopey.
militantly nonsensical.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Come Together. So, now there's an icon right there. Yeah.
No, it's not on here. But yeah, no, I think it deserves to be there. Your rationale for it not being there is very weak. So I'm going to need you to beef it up for our folks.
Man versus machine. I'm right. Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, so iconic as far as the song, the artist, the impact it's had on the world,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
analytical software.
I know.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
think you're definitely.
I'm prepared to accept songs that I'm not in love with on the list, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying maybe go back and listen to it again and just like absorb the goodness in that song and the power of it. It's just so powerful. Anyway, I wish I wrote lyrics like that. Number one is Smells Like Teen Spirit.
You got to be kidding me.
Number one.
You
It ticked most boxes.
Well, I mean, come on. I love the song. Love Nirvana, but really? And it was another one. It was just like when I heard Welcome to the Jungle. When I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, I said, oh, shit, this is incredible. It got me right away. And mostly I don't like screamy noise, but this is great screamy noise. Iconic, well, I mean, it's one of those, really up-tempo anthemic deals, and it's a rouser and a crowd pleaser and everything. I do have a problem picturing that as number one anything, though, what do you think?
I think it's fucking iconic, but I disagree with it being number one.
That's what I'm saying. It is iconic,
It's iconic because, as I've said a million times, I'm sure ad nauseum, and people are tired of hearing it, they are a brand. Mm-hmm. Nirvana is a brand. They're not musicians anymore. They've been a brand for years. So, I don't subscribe to the brand. When I heard Nirvana, I was not in love with it. I was like, all right.
Wow, I thought otherwise.
I was like, okay, they're screaming. It's a lot of screechy, screaming stuff.
Didn't you ever get to the point where you really were into Nirvana? No?
I did later where I grew to appreciate them, but that kind of screamy thing, just like Bob Dylan, that shit's never going to get to me. It doesn't matter how good the song is. Doesn't matter how good the lyrics are. That screamy or that, it's never going to happen for me.
I realize
like singing.
I'm alone on an island here, but I can listen to him. And even songs that might sound like real downers for a minute, if you listen to them, they really pump you up like Heart-Shaped Box, I mean, anybody else I think would have butchered that.
No, that's not, he doesn't sing it. He kind of whine screams.
I don't know why. I can't explain it, but I'm not crazy about, that guy from, who's the Stone Temple Pilots? Scott Weiland and
people who actually sing.
Yeah, I mean Lane Staley. Those guys I don't like, and I like Cobain and I like Cornell. Don't ask me why. It's crazy, I know, and I absolutely friggin' hate Vedder. Since they're it's that era we're talking about here, like from the Singles movie. Yeah, I like Nirvana better than any of them, but iconic song, not top 10.
Yeah, you are like the most confusing person ever.
I'm defective.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm
but,
defective, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like Nirvana. I probably say I'm not. People are in love and crazy about Nirvana. I'm probably like a 6. They're fine.
Yeah, you've transferred that to the Foo Fighters, who are not as good as Nirvana.
They're hella good. You have no idea because you only heard like a smattering. I've listened to Nirvana music again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Now I change the channel. I'm done.
Wow.
I've had it. It's a lot.
Wow, channel changer here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not a game changer.
I've heard it a million times. I've heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, I don't know, 500 times. I don't need to hear it anymore. So I think that it is iconic. I think it changed things. I think that grunge era and specifically the video, the everything, I think it was iconic. I don't know that it's number one, but I definitely think it's an iconic song. Again, I can be objective. Yeah. You cannot.
No,
I'm
too. It's absolutely iconic. I just don't think it should be the top of any list. I mean, but it's certainly iconic. I love the song.
I think it's a fine song. So I kind of disagree with all but like 2 things on this list.
Well, you didn't get the reference before, so I'll try it again. And most of these, we didn't. So, just remember, there ain't no good guys, there ain't no bad guys. There's only you and me, and that's a song cue. And Bruce is probably going, how does she not know? That's Dave Mason. We just disagree? No? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what that is. And we do disagree because you think the Rolling Stones should be in the top 10. I think
that song should.
No, I think you should go back and think about that. Bob Dylan's like a Rolling Stone. Again, iconic. Should it be on this list? No. Hey Jude, top 15. Bohemian Rhapsody, absolutely. Billie Jean, absolutely. Imagine, absolutely. And then I'm out. But other stuff that did not fall in the top 10, just some quick hits. Are you ready?
But I'm assuming they're somewhere on the list. Yeah. How much of a list was it? They just did 10?
100. No, 50.
100. Okay.
50.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, 50.
Are these in the 50? Probably, yeah.
What do you mean, are these in the 50?
The ones that didn't make it, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that aren't in the top 10.
Are in the 50.
Yeah.
I think that's important to know.
London Calling, The Clash. I mean, it's iconic, but not in the top 50. It comes in at number 11.
It is.
No. Hotel California, The Eagles, definitely not iconic. Give me a fucking break.
Wait a minute. What?
It's
of
not
course it's iconic.
Song. It's not. Are you kidding me? How is it iconic? How did it change music? How did it change? And I mean, Imagine is iconic, and you said because you don't like the lyrics.
Hotel California blows that away. Are you kidding?
Imagine?
Wow. Yes, of course.
Do you want me to pull up how popular Imagine is versus Hotel California?
Boy,
there's no way.
The human race. I'm sorry for you.
There's no way. There's no fucking way. It's not iconic. What did it do? What makes it iconic? It's about a dark desert highway. I like the song.
You should have been there when it came out. I mean, at the time, it was
love the song.
Completely fresh. I mean, it still is, yeah, I mean, and it has endured, and it captivates people. It's people are spellbound by the song. Probably every non, halfway serious musical ever in the world knows the solos at the end, note for note.
So let's start here.
That brilliant.
We agree that Bohemian Rhapsody should be on there. So
Hell
Bohemian
yeah.
Rhapsody versus Hotel California, not in the same league.
No, in fact, I would say they're exactly. That's what I tell people. It's just like back in the day, we had one guy or a group of guys, small guys, writing songs like Bohemian Rhapsody and Hotel California. It's one of the ones I mentioned when I talk about the iconic records coming out as new releases.
It's an iconic record at the time, but if you put that against Bohemian Rhapsody, they're not in the same league at all.
I think they both are.
You think they're the same level as Queen?
No, I don't. But
and the
Queen,
same level of iconic as Queen?
No, Queen comes first. Queen, I mean...
I want to know.
The Hotel California is not like something that's never ever been done before, which Bohemian Rhapsody was.
Iconic.
It was iconic. It was new. It was like
what Michael Jackson was doing was iconic. Yeah.
Well, I think Thriller, not Thriller, but okay, let's say Billie Jean and Hotel California and Bohemian Rhapsody are all cut from the same cloth, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my God, there's no way.
And I thank all the people it's like 67, 68 countries or whatever who are shaking their fists in agreement with me.
No, they're not. Yeah. There's no way. Hotel California, Bohemian Rhapsody, same league. Never. There's no way.
I know it's hard to get mail from you people, but certainly this will get you off your...
Yeah, hopefully it will, because you just got to tell him he's wrong. Your song, Elton John, number 14 after Hotel California, which is apparently the most amazing song ever, rivaling Queen. I had no idea, but now I do. Your song, where are you at on that?
Now it's year end, so we get this top list thing going on every day, and somebody will raise hell, and they're not saying good choices, but somebody will raise hell about one song being a couple of spaces above another. That I don't quibble about. But does your song belong in there with those others in any position? It's
Elton John, Eagles. Elton John is God. Eagles is not.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think Hotel California
incredible.
is a more significant song than has a more impactful song than your song. But your song is great.
Elton John.
There are other Elton John songs. It's probably the biggest and all that stuff.
Right. So most iconic.
Most iconic. Yeah. But
I don't know. I don't know.
But he's got so many though.
Stairway to Heaven is 15.
No comment. Of course. Yeah, of course.
Stairway to Heaven was pretty iconic, although not my favorite Zeppelin song, but iconic. The Twist by Chubby Checker is number 16.
Wow.
So, yeah, iconic. Right up there.
Well, I mean, considering
with Hotel California and Queen,
I couldn't speak to that exactly, but
just making sure I didn't know where
they made quite a splash. This was, the dawn of rock and roll.
It was
dancing
a dance
craze, which persists with old rockers like me. So yeah, I mean. I don't remember the last time I listened to it or anything. It's not that kind of thing. But as far as its impact, there are a lot of songs probably from the 50s that really should be there, too. And I think
it was iconic, not top 20.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I put Satisfaction in there somewhere, because it was like that, I wasn't around when the Twist came out, not even me. But I'm going to say, okay, if you say so on this one. I mean, I don't have a dog in this fight, you know.
I think it should be a lot lower on the list. I mean, closer to 50. I don't know that it should be, again, that high up on the list. Number 16.
If we were doing a list of 200, okay, you know.
But I don't, yeah. And number 17 is Live Forever by Oasis.
I hope that my hearty laughter into the microphone didn't pop, because that is pretty funny. I've never heard anything by Oasis that I've liked, honestly.
No, I can't stomach it. And I don't understand how it's groundbreaking, or I guess that's not the criteria. But when I think of iconic, I think somebody groundbreaking who changed the face of music, whose impact can still be heard and felt and seen, and that does not fall into that category.
So the AI, the program thing didn't say maybe.
I mean, that's the Wonderwall. That's not even on the list.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's enough to get everybody cringing. You know?
It's awful. Number 18, I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston. So, no.
It's hard to think of a heart-rending ballad as iconic, although it was
true.
It's a powerful it's an impactful song, and the fact that it starts with like almost 50 seconds of a cappella vocals is pretty far out. The Whitney Houston version,
it's beautiful. I mean, I'm not saying it's not beautiful.
No, it is beautiful. I wouldn't put it there myself. No, I wouldn't.
I mean, it's a cover.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I wouldn't put it there.
Life on Mars is 19, David Bowie.
I mean, I know it, of course, but a lot of people might not. But I don't know. Well, no, they seem to. It seems to pop up everywhere. It's far, far from being anywhere near my favorite Bowie song, but I think he's probably got more iconic songs than that, and I hope one of them pops up, because that wouldn't be the one. It's good, though. It's great.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely iconic. I think it was very different. Bowie did a lot of iconic stuff, which is why he is an icon. But I think Life on Mars is one of them. I don't know if it belongs at number 19, maybe top 20. So yeah, maybe. But I agree that it's iconic. I think it was something that was very groundbreaking. It changed things. I think it was something people were agape at, because it was completely new, and it's hard to make something new. It really is.
And he did that a number of times. So any look at iconic, any sort of thing, he's got to pop up there somewhere, because this is your once in a lifetime artist there. I remember somebody said on Instagram one day, and I'm sure I said this before, but don't take him for granted. This is in reference to Drake. Don't take him for granted, folks. He's a once in a lifetime artist. I'm like, are you kidding me? There are like 400 guys like him right now. David Bowie is a once-in-a-lifetime artist, and he's certainly got to be on the list, but not with Life on Mars. No.
And it's interesting, because I think if you're of this era, whatever this era is that likes this kind of music, then he probably is iconic. But he's not when you look at the history of music. But they're not going back and listening to this shit. They're saying, okay, I was born in 2007.
Yeah.
Here's my music. I was born in 2010. This is all I know. All the rest of the shit is old people music.
Yeah.
So if this is all you know, Drake is probably amazing.
Yeah, the lists.
Sadly.
You always know who they asked for the lists, because top blah blah blah, and there's like these a lot of bullshit new artists and everything. Yeah.
The last in the top 20 is Heartbreak Hotel, Elvis Presley.
Wow.
And I get how the software sees that that's probably one of them, from just, the beats per minute, the tempo, the lyrical content, except it's heartbreak, but it's very, like, there's a lot of, upbeat. It's very shiny, it's all that stuff.
It moves you in a way.
Iconic.
It makes you move in a way that feels good, despite there's really nothing in the lyric. It's like people just sit around crying in the gloom. I mean, that's Heartbreak Hotel, the desk clerk's tears keep flowing, or the bells of the desk clerks dressed in black. It's just a terrible place, but something about it, maybe they sing the song in Heartbreak Hotel and they feel better because it makes you feel good, no matter what the lyric says. Yeah.
Well, I think iconic for all the reasons, because I think Elvis was groundbreaking. He did stuff that nobody did, from the way he danced to his delivery to all of this stuff, right? And his voice, I I mean, his voice is still unlike anybody else's I've ever heard. So.
You know, it used to be a trite phrase. People used to say song stylings, but in Elvis's case, even if he was doing covers, even if he was doing the sorts of songs that people had done before him, you know, he styled them in such a way where it really was new. I mean, I don't understand people that don't really appreciate Elvis, even if he wasn't like this super prolific songwriter or anything. I mean, what he did, he wasn't a songwriter. I mean, he's credited in like one or two, maybe, with three other people. But as a song stylist, I mean, that's to his credit that he could not even be singing his own shit and still grab us the way he did and become part of our lives the way he did. And that song, something from Elvis got to be there. He has a lot of that sort of vein, but I would argue maybe Hound Dog, because it is more up than Heartbreak Hotel, but they're both the same kind of thing. I mean, eternal, timeless classics.
I don't know. I feel like I definitely feel like it's an iconic song. I think he took something that was kind of sad and made it something romantic almost, which is very hard to do. And, you know, I think it probably is iconic. Again, I think it might be in the top 100 for me, but not the top 20. So this is, again, according to the software. So it's to me, it got most of it wrong. I'd say it got maybe 8% correct for me. For you, it's a lot more.
Yeah, it's more. And that's only because I know I've said before, this belongs further down the list and not here. I don't quibble about a few spaces or this over that, but there are ones that clearly don't approach the top, and we've heard a bunch of those. But
yeah, no, I do quibble about where it is. If you're going to call something number one, that's a big deal to me.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Something top 10.
Yeah, but I mean,
most
if
iconic
like,
songs of all time.
If one is like 20 and one is 8, I'm not going to quarrel about that.
Oh, I'm quarreling the fuck about that.
Yeah,
no, I'm going to have a major issue with that. If you had Hotel California over Bohemian Rhapsody, I would have lost my shit.
It's over everything. No, it's not over everything. Bohemian Rhapsody is over everything. But
yeah, I don't know. Hotel California, I love that song. You know, I love that song. There's no way it should be anywhere near the top 30.
Bohemian Rhapsody is like an all-time classic, but when it comes to singing songs in a car, have you ever been in a car with a bunch of people and sung Somebody to Love?
No.
Oh, it's way too much fun. It's just the greatest experience of all. But Bohemian Rhapsody takes the cake. That needs to be way up there.
And it is.
Yeah.
I disagree with the software. I think it sucks. It doesn't make any sense. But there are lots of other ones on this list we don't have time to get to. But I'm not going to tell you what numbers, but highlights other things in the top 50. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Woo. Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen. I'm vomiting on myself.
Stop it.
Gross. Dancing Queen. I'm sorry. No.
That ended up on a number one, in the number one spot on a list the other day. I swear. Go ahead.
Ugh. Every Breath You Take, iconic. I don't know. I mean, it was a big deal, but I don't know. Give Me Shelter.
Oh, Give Me Shelter. Yeah, that. Sorry. I mean, it's not a bias toward the Stones or anything, but it's one of those songs. Hey, Marty Scorsese used it in several films.
It's one of those songs. What?
That is unique and original, and you never heard anything quite that eerie and quite that haunting. And then you got it's insane, that song. And you got the vocal, the female vocal.
Yeah, you're very biased. That's all it is.
Mary
that's
Clayton,
okay.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's what's happening. So, My Generation by The Who. I can't even, like, what the fuck is going on? And
it's kind of a nothing. I love The Who, but it's kind of a, it's not. I mean, it's big impact. The words, the aggression of it, and the performance of it, and everything. But it's. They don't even play it anymore. It's bottom of the list. It's the farther
worst.
down the
it's
list.
Such a stupid, trite song. I can't even handle it. It's so dumb. Change Is Gonna Come. Sam Cooke is 48, and I do think that's really iconic. It's sad that he's at the bottom of the barrel.
Sam Cooke is a friggin' legend,
and I don't
man.
understand what's happening there. And River Deep Mountain High is number 49.
Wow.
So I have
they got the Motown in there. My goodness,
I have major issues with the top 20. Major issues. So I disagree. So fuck that analytical software, because they certainly did not get it right with me, and not for the reasons, not because I'm biased, but because iconic is very different. And I think there's like 3 people on here that are really, truly iconic. And Elton John is a fucking icon.
And,
and your song is an iconic song.
I'm sure he's in the list someplace, but Stevie's going to be there. And I'm not talking about Ray Vaughan. I'm talking about Wonder.
He's not here.
No?
Nope.
He should be.
Nope.
I mean, I'm sorry. The superstition stuff like that is iconic to me.
Not on this list per this crazy analytical software. So. Anyway, Dr. Grayson, we think you should retire this software. I think you should. David thinks it's brilliant, apparently, but I think you should retire it because I think it makes no sense. And why do we want computers to tell us what's iconic anyway? We know, well, some of us know what truly is iconic, and those are songs that were groundbreaking, that made a difference that time, that are completely and totally still relevant today or still making an impact today, speaking to new generations, all those kinds of things. That's what makes a song iconic.
Although we will give you credit, Doctor, that you did give us fodder for a show, and you can just tell AI they can stop telling us what's great and what's iconic and just proceed to just cut to the chase and blow us up already. That's what they're going to do. So.
All right. Or AI could continue to help us. That would be great. Just do some cool things that really help our society to move forward and for us to be hopefully, free of a lot of the burdens that we have now, so it can help us. But when it comes to telling us what we like and what we don't like, I think it's probably a lost cause. So let's go ahead and retire it in that vein, please. And let's get back to maybe having it help with medical shit. Let's have it help do some stuff that we don't know how to do or we can't do yet.
Yeah, we can do without the concerts. Thank you.
I don't really need that. Yeah, so thank you for your music, and thank you, Doctor, and fuck you, analytical software. All right. Any last words before we end this particular Winging It and go on to something else?
Just remember, if we don't come back next week and some strange thing befalls us, look into the origins of our disappearances and see if possibly Skynet is involved. But no, that was enough. Lovely.
Skynet. What's cool is we're ending the show with a conspiracy theory, which I didn't see that coming.
See, that's what sets us apart.
I didn't see conspiracy theory.
Who would dare?
Yeah, no one should. But there it is. Okay, so. All right, Skynet it is. Beam me up, Scotty. All right. Well, thank you very much for listening to this crazy, crazy little Winging It situation that we have. And remember that if you're writing songs, certainly try to use Baby, Feel, and Love. Apparently,
there you go, yeah.
Apparently, that's the way forward. All right, well, now that we've had our way with this most iconic list,
speaking of way, Baby, I love your way. Come on, you telling me that wasn't there? But it is kind of, I guess, pablum. But I mean, it certainly fits the criteria.
And it fits one part of a multi-tiered criteria, and it's Peter Frampton. Yeah. So
is that Peter fucking Frampton?
So all right, well, that only leaves for you to say,
"Let's fly this coop."
This has been Winging It, a presentation of Birds of a Feather on What the Flock Radio.